All right, there it is. The startling costs of college. The cost of an education is going up. In fact, college tuition has risen more than 88% in the last 10 years. That's startling. Only the cost of fuel and gasoline have gone up more than that. Can you even imagine? Okay, thank you for joining us. That's enough good news for one day. No, Brad Huffman is with us. He's a financial expert who joins us. And yeah, we've got some changes now in what's happening with college costs, the interest costs. However, it is startling when you see those kinds of costs.
And the sad part is it's not going to get any slower. I mean, the supply and demand, there's a lot of demand and the supply isn't growing enough. So unfortunately, those numbers will be there. So the best thing we can do, get your tool belt out, fill it up with the tools you need, and start battling. Although we did, as you mentioned, there's a little bit of positive news just came out last week. There was a lot of publicity about student loan interest rates going up to from 3.4 to 6.8 as of July 1st.
Right.
Congress just passed a law last week. It's going to, I'm sure, signed by the president very soon. It takes it from 6.8 back to 3.9 for the next 12 months. So that's a great thing. If you think about it, if you're borrowing $10,000, the old rules would have cost you about $700 in interest.
Yeah.
New rules about $400. So it's saving you $300 in interest. So imagine, if you have $20,000, it's going to save you, $600.
I was going to say those numbers were like easy to look at and digest and everything.
Yep.
But when you're talking about like the debt that you can accumulate,
it's
what are you talking about over a lifetime?
You're looking at, it's not uncommon at this point probably to see $60,000, $70,000 in student loan debt.
I mean, that's like a mortgage.
Oh, absolutely it is. And again, people are using that because this tuition's going up, the scholarships aren't going up. There's a lot of cutbacks from the state and federal level. So the schools aren't kicking in as much. So what's happening is people are borrowing to make up the difference.
I just read the other day that they were saying a teacher right now, if they were in college to study to be a teacher, it would take them 20 years to pay back that college loan.
Wow.
And they're not making an incredible amount of money.
There's probably a lot of 40 and 50-year-olds right now paying their own student loans plus trying to get their kids started.
Wow.
So you really got to plan. Every little bit you can do to save, you really have to.
Well, you came up with four simple things, starting with this thing called College Scorecard. What is that?
College Scorecard basically was created as an initiative from the White House. The whole goal was to try to create an inventory of affordability. So you can pop in your school and you can see how much is it costing people out of pocket? How much are they borrowing? Are they defaulting on their loans? So if you've got a couple schools you're thinking about, maybe throw them in here. Just a quick review. It's going to be more robust over time. It's brand new this year. So it's going to take a little bit of time to really get that going.
Do they factor in that whole party school list that we were talking about?
I don't know. The beer money might be a separate category.
That's a whole other thing.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah, it was.
Exactly.
All right, so you also say there's a way to defer some of those costs if you start in high school.
Yeah, many schools now, high schools will have programs where if you have an opportunity, you can take college-level classes that hopefully will transfer in. So if you think about it, you could probably do it for limited or low cost. Here's an opportunity to maybe take a basic math, English, science, something that's going to be a core part of your four-year degree, get it done early, could literally save you thousands if you can do it. Forget the study hall, take the math class, get that done and out of the way. So it's a great way to do that.
And you also mentioned when it comes to like all this money, keeping it out of the actual student's name.
This is a big deal. Every year you're filling out that FAFSA, that financial aid form. One of the worst types of assets to have are assets in the student's name. Because what happens is they look at that and say, well, if Johnny owns it, a larger portion will be used to pay school. So your financial aid can be hurt. So the best thing to do is if the student has a large savings account or some custodial account of some sort, spend that money, get rid of it, get it out of there because it will hurt you on financial aid. It's better for the parents to own it, even better if the grandparents own it because those count much, much less in the formula.
Wow. And then, of course, kind of playing off the high school thing, I've heard a lot of people do this in reverse, that the community, you go to the community college in order to get into the big education facilities. But in this case, you're just saying community college might be the route to go?
Well, I think, if you're not looking at the four-year degree, it's a great place to go if you want to develop a skill. If you do want to do the traditional four-year, the bachelor's degree, it's a great way. Maybe you can take, my wife did this when she was an undergrad, take a few classes here and there, literally can save thousands. Just take the basic classes. Or if you want to be more aggressive and save more, consider a 2-and-2 type of program. Spend your first 2 years of the community college. Hopefully, you got to make sure all the credits will transfer.
Exactly.
And then move in, and again, you've got great schools like Ohio State and many other schools here in Central Ohio. They work well together. So you can really be very aggressive and easily save thousands of dollars if you do the planning. And I think that's a model that a lot of people will do because at the end of the day, do I want to borrow $60,000, $70,000 when maybe I can borrow 30? basic stuff done at a much lower cost, move it over, still graduate from the school of my choice, but with a lot less burden on my back and a lot less interest I'm going to have to worry
Some
about
great
down the road.
points. Great advice.
Yep.
Good job, Bradley.
Be diligent. That's what you have to do.
All right, Brad Huffman with us today. Thank you so much, Brad. Appreciate it.